Happy Thanksgiving. Obviously, it's Thursday, November 22nd. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and they're nice and full and they can barely walk. So, gonna make this video short, hopefully. We're gonna do another customizing of the Chevelle wagon. This will be part 2. And I'm gonna show you how to do a wheel swap today, what tools you need and how to do it. I'm not gonna be doing the custom axles today. I'll put that in another video. Before I do the actual video here, keep in mind there are a ton of videos out there and a lot of them are really good on YouTube. So this is not probably going to be the best one, just another one out there for you to watch. So maybe I've got something that you can take and learn from, and somebody else has plenty. I learned from watching YouTube, and you know, it makes it real easy. So first we're going to go over the tools you'll want to have. First thing you'll want to pick up is a tap with a number 50 drill bit. This is a tap, 256 tap with a number 50 drill bit. This is made by Dubro. I think this runs about $4 or $5 for the set. I already had one that I've used before. Now here's my 256 tap. I've had it for a while and I've got it on a handle here. Basically the handle insertion, this is an Integy RC Allen head handle, but it wasn't big enough, so I drilled it out and I put a set screw. Actually, there's already set screw holes, but I put one on each side to hold it nice and tight. So you'll want some kind of handle for your tap as well. I know Poochman, or I don't know the rest of his name. I watch a lot of his videos though. He uses like a little bolt that he's got JB welded on there. That's a pretty good idea too. So you'll want that. The drill bit I have, wherever it, yeah, here it is right here. I already had one, so there's a number 50. Now I've got a little collar on there, you can see. Just a little collar with an Allen head. And I've got this at about the right length that I want. You also want a drill. This is definitely not a requirement, that little collar. That was made, that's by Great Plains, and this will run about $5. Now you may have to drill out the hole for the bit to go through a little bit, but whatever. Poochman actually uses like an old pen, you know, the actual ink cartridge or what have you, the tubing, and he uses that. So excellent idea. The first one I didn't use anything and had no problems, but I've seen people or heard of people drilling through the car because they didn't have a little stopper on this. So you also want another drill bit to actually drill out the rivet, and it's not a rivet, but we just call it a rivet. I use a 1/8, and the reason why I use a 1/8 is because it will take out everything, and if you go too far, it still doesn't take any of the chassis material out. So it's about the perfect size, probably a little bit small, but I tend to go a little bit too far, so this was a safe bet for me. This is a 1/8. You'll want some 256 by 3/16 of an inch button head screws. There's 100 and some in there. Here it is on my, see if you can, it's probably not going to focus on that because the camera's going to focus on my fingers. Oh, there we go. A little button head screw there. And you want an Allen for it. It's I think 0.050. Again, this is an Integy. It actually was quite a bit longer. I cut it down, grounded it a little bit so the set screw would go in there. So that's my little Allen. And these are titanium, supposedly, titanium nitrate or whatever. So these don't really round off. So that makes it really, really nice. You'll want a little screwdriver. By the way, here's the original length of that Allen. Little screwdriver, little flathead, that's to pop open the chassis. And then you'll also want some little side cuts here to cut the little tabs off for the axles. And we'll show you, we're going to use, I'm not using these wheels on that car, but here's one of the Hot Wheels Firebirds. I had more than one, so what I like to do first, and everybody's different, a lot of people will drill out the 256 hole and then they'll go ahead and tap it. I don't like to do it that way, that's just my preference. I do like to drill out the hole first, but I'll show you what I do. I just drill it pretty much as far as it's going to go on this stopper. Okay. Guess we need to get in the video there, huh? You may want to pull it out a little bit, go back in. There we go. And I've just drilled that out. And there you go. Now I don't drill it all the way, because what happens is a lot of times you'll drill it when you take your bigger bit to actually drill the outside of the mushroom off. You'll get some chunks and you'll need to re-drill it anyway. So I don't want to tap it because I don't want to and that's only happened to me once, so it happened one too many times. So basically when you drill this out, it may go a little bit further than you'd like, and then if you got to re-drill that, you're going to have to re-tap it. So we'll go ahead and the reason why I drill it first instead of drilling this first is because this gives the bigger bit, that hole, that 256 hole gives the bigger bit something to ride in. Because otherwise if you don't do that, then it could walk off and scratch up, or in this case, plastic base, it could put a hole in your base. So if you've done this far enough, you can actually just pull it apart with your hand like that. Now if you didn't, that's what you would use your little screwdriver for. Again, this is why I use the 1/8 inch bit, because it's the perfect, I didn't harm the holes at all. You can see that. I mean, they are fine, and your button head will not go through them, so it still holds the chassis down. So it's almost perfect. So now we're left with this. See what I mean? This one got chunked just a tiny bit. The front one's pretty much fine, and that's it's the second time that's happened to me. It's just kind of leftover. It's really not even, so I just nipped it off with that. So now I like to go back, and then I drill my hole complete. And again, this is probably not necessary most of the time. I just like to do it this way. And I've still got that stopper on a far enough setting that I won't go through the chassis even yet. So let's drill it again. And if I didn't mention, obviously you'll want to drill. I'm just using a cheapo drill that I got just for this purpose. A little faster would probably be better. I can use my Milwaukee, but it's kind of heavy and bulky. So. Oops. You may have to take it out, let some of the debris get out of there. There. Next thing you want to do is take your tap. Make sure you get everything out of there. Take your tap, make sure it's nice and clean, and go ahead and slowly start to tap it out. Now, you'll want to go a few turns. You'll feel some, just want to make sure it's straight first of all. So, turn it until you feel some good resistance, and go ahead and back it back out. Don't pull it out. You don't want to strip it out. See all the leftovers. And go back in again. And that should be good enough. Keep in mind, it's only a 3/16 of an inch screw, plus you got the depth of the chassis, so not much of that screw is going to get in there. We'll do the rear. Again, I'm kind of stopping. Again, you don't want to force this in. You will break this little tap really easily, and they're not that cheap. You can also get them at Ace, and I think they are, I want to say about $5 a piece, because the Dubro ones, I've only found them in one shop. The other hobby store I go to, they don't carry them that small. You can order them, but so okay, there. What you end up with, hopefully we can get this on camera. There we go. It's a nice threaded little hole. Look at that. I'll be darned. So, got that done. Now this is kind of a bad example because this one doesn't have little tabs. This chassis doesn't have little tabs to hold the wheels in. So here, we'll look at this one here. So this one here, what you would do, I didn't cut out the back, but see if you can see this. There you go. See these little tabs? Cut those off. Just use your little side cuts. Cut those. pull them out, and then you take the flathead screwdriver again and kind of go in the groove, making sure there's nothing stopping you from putting the new axle in. And then you can go ahead and put your new axle in. Again, we're not doing an axle swap today. I will on, because I do need to do an axle swap on this car just on the front. So then you go ahead and pop them in, and they should kind of stay there by themselves. You can glue it in, but none of that's necessary. If you just want to do it, you can do it. Almost all the interiors that I've seen on the Hot Wheels, you can see a little ridge in the interior there. Almost all the interiors actually hold those axles down. So there's really no need to glue. So we'll go ahead and put the Trans Am back together. So go ahead and put your wheels back on. What we got, that's the front. Back. That's the chassis. Again, this one doesn't even have the tabs because the chassis, those little towers there, those hold the wheels in place. So now when I did the A-Team van, I actually glued it. Didn't have to, but I didn't, you know, it's no big deal. If you want to glue it, go ahead. There we go. So there, chassis holds it in. Go ahead and put the car back together. And again, that's another reason why I love that 1/8 inch drill bit. I mean, it goes together really easily. And then you go ahead and put your screw in. Well, screws. We're just going to put one. Well, we'll put two in, I guess. So there's that one. And there's no reason why you need to tighten the heck out of it. Get another screw here. And we'll do the rear. Even though we use the same screws, and we don't forget to put your interior in, I didn't put it in purposely because I'm going to do something else with this car eventually. So there we are with our two Allen heads. I don't know if I mentioned, I mean, I think I did, that they are 256 button head screws, 3/16 of an inch long. And you can get them on eBay, or if you, Poochman, I'm not even going to try. He pronounced his name in a video, and he explained it, but I don't remember. He sells little kits, I believe, so I'll put a link to his channel below. That way, if you guys want to get these just in one shot, I actually bought everything separately. The screws I got off eBay. Initially, the first like 10 I got from Ace Hardware, but they were 75 cents a piece. So no matter what you did, you had $1.50 in a Hot Wheel. That's crazy. So keep that in mind. If you're going to get everything separately, you can spend a lot of money. I'm not sure what he charges, but I imagine it's probably a fairly good price for what you get. And these can anywhere from $5 to $10. I think they were $5, but again, I haven't found them again. And you know, it can get expensive just to customize these little bad boys. Now, that's pretty much everything you need. Now, good idea to have a Dremel. You can Dremel off those again, they're not rivets, but you know, where they actually put the chassis together. I'm going to show you, you know, another reason why it's good to have the Dremel. This is the car. This is not the car I want. No, here's the car I want. So I'm going to show you what the Chevelle is going to look like here. Aside from the paint, there's not going to be any paint on there. See right there, I've actually ground down a little bit of the chassis, and all I've done is just lightly just taking a little bit off, not too much. I'm going to be painting it black anyway, and you would never see that even if I didn't paint it. So I've just ground down the interior, or the inner fender there a little bit. And the reason why, here are the original wheels. Now luckily on the rear I do not have to do an axle swap. On the front I do, and I'll make a video of that later, probably after I paint it. So here's the rear, the stock rear wheel. The one I'm putting on, which is from another car. Yeah. There's the ones I'm putting on. See if we can get these side by side. So you can see how much of a difference there are in the width of the wheel. So that's why you know, that I've ground that down. Now I don't think it'll roll really well, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like with those wheels. I think it looks fantastic, and it appears to roll. Others may not agree with me. I might go with a matte finish paint job with a red interior. We will see. We'll go ahead and put a screw in this. And this video is going kind of long. I would like to make them short, but it didn't happen here. And it actually rolls. So I'll show you what it looks like on the little stand here. I don't have my big tripod. I've got this little one. But anyway, there it is rolling. But I'll show you what it kind of looks like. We're going to be spinning the wrong direction, but oh well. Let's see. If we can focus, it just wants to focus on that light in the background. That light is one of my lights from when I used to race RC. I was sponsored, so there we go. So I think that wheel combination looks pretty darn good. That's just my opinion, especially with a black paint job maybe, or a blue. I think I'm going to go with a matte. So that's looks a lot better than the stock, in my opinion. Again, that's just an opinion, so it's all what you like. I think it'll look really, really good though. Those front wheels, I may actually keep that axle length. I may put, I'll still have to do a custom axle, but what I may do is put some spacers in there because I don't like the way it's tucked real far in there. So I may spread them out a little bit further on the chassis, or I can put some little spacers on the chassis itself. Who knows? Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time this evening, almost 17 minutes. God, I don't ever make videos that long, even on my main channel. Once in a while I do, but typically I don't. Oh, so anyway, that's going to do it. All the tools you need. Again, go back, look at those. It's a good idea to get, you know, what you need. Don't try to use anything else. Except for that big bit, and like I said, I think I'm the only one that's using this smaller of the big bits, just because I like to be safe than sorry. I did ruin one, and then a couple of these things I learned on my own. One thing was I didn't drill. Some people don't drill a 256 pilot hole first, or the tap, or what have you. They'll just go ahead and start using the drill bit, and I did that on the one of the Toyota AE86s. I just started drilling, and boom, right through the chassis. It moved away and went right and put a hole right through the chassis. So that wasn't good. So that's why I kind of do it the way I'm doing it now. And the other reason why I use a smaller bit, this smaller bit for the drilling out the other, is because I had a bigger bit and I went a little bit too far. The Allen head still worked, or the button head, but barely. I mean, if I would have went, you know, just 1/2 a turn more on the drill, then it would have been too big and I would have had to put a little washer or something on there. So learn from your mistakes. I certainly try to. So again, have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody is relaxing, watching TV. We ate early today and watched Shrek. So I'm probably going to go have some leftovers now. Even though it's late, we ate around 1 and I haven't eaten since, and it's about 8:40, or I'm sorry, 8:30 right now. So again, tomorrow maybe we'll do another video on this, or maybe we'll have some openings. Who knows? But anyway, that'll do it. Please subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.